Yeah, fine. So sorry. This trial classes. So in these classes, I will explain you the syllabus overview. So do you have any idea what will be inside the A-level IL A2, IT A2? Do you have any idea about the syllabus overview?
Yeah, teacher. Database and
Database and Unit 3, right? The theory
yeah.
type of part. Okay. So when it comes to A2, A2 is similar like Unit 1. We have a examination format, which is you will get 80 marks question, and then it will be similar like 2 hour. There will be a open and short ended question, right? So when it comes to the longer question, you will get 12 marks question, and you also get 6 mark question like the similar way we get in Unit 1. And the first chapter for Unit 3 is data integrity. Data integrity is basically means like how accurate the data is. Okay, so which means when we get any of the information from the website, what is the validity that that particular data is accurate, right? That one is a part of a data integrity. And when we are taking the data from the website or any of the places, suppose we take the information of a user, right? If you think about the Facebook, so many Facebook account are not like is a fake account, right? So which means some of the account are fake, some of the account are real. So similar things is happen in the internet world as well. When we see some of the information from the Facebook or Instagram, everything are not real, right? So when it comes to data manipulation, it is quite hard to get the real data. So how we can able to get the real data, how we can able to identify that this particular data is validate, and we can able to maintain the consistency of that particular data, what type of process we follow, and how we can able to maintain that particular things, we will learn that things in the data integrity chapter. Then comes to big data. I think the big data is now quite familiar nowadays. If you think about the Chat GPT uses the big data, right? They have a warehouse. In warehouse mean you can think about a data warehouse. There they store all the data, right? Because Chat GPT provide us the free service. Why? So that they can able to get the output, they can able to get the input from the user. Like compared to the paid, the free version user is quite more. So that's why when the people are searching about these things to the internet, they can get the data from there. So they can able to collect different type of question from the user, and then based on that, they can able to train their algorithm. Right. So when it comes to big data means a vast amount of large data set. It can be image, it can be video, it can be any type of data. Right. So it's a mixtures of structures and unstructured data. In our Unit 1 database chapter, we already learned about what is the meaning of structured and unstructured data in the database chapter, right? So in the manipulating data, we will just go through a bit, deep compared to the Unit 1. So how we will manage the big data and everything we will learn in this chapter, as well as the relational database. Relational database is a part of the way we did foreign key, primary key, similar like that. But here we will learn about the data redundancy, how we can able to remove the data redundancy. Data redundancy means data duplication. Okay, so what procedure we can follow to reduces the data duplication in the databases. So in Unit 1, we have the SQL queries. We learn about what does it mean by different type of relation. We learn about what does it mean by primary key, foreign key, right? But here we will learn how we can able to create different type of tables so that we can reduces the data duplication. So one of the process that we will learn, which is normalization. From there, like they will give us a whole table. So in that particular table, maybe 3 or 4 table included, but you have to think from your perspective and you have to break that one table to 2 or 3 table, and then you have to came up with the database structures. Okay, so that the data won't be repeated. So this relational database in Unit 3, we will learn only the theory part and we will do it on pen and paper. But when it comes to Unit 4, we will do it as a practical way. Now, we have the next chapter, which is enabling technologies. In this chapter, we will first learn about what does it mean by virtual machine. Virtual machine means suppose I have a Mac, but suddenly I need Windows. Like if you think about the MS Access, that one is not applicable. Like they don't have any software. They didn't create the MS Access software for Mac. So that's why I need Windows to run that particular software, right? So here it comes the virtual machine, because now if I want to run that particular software, I need to buy the Windows computer, and then during that I can able to run that particular database software. So what does it mean by virtual machine? Virtual machine is they will give you the a virtual 1 minute. Okay, fine. I will. This class is being recorded. Okay, so after this class, I will give you the recording so you can able to see from the first. Okay.
Okay, miss.
So what does it mean by virtual machine? So which means when I have to buy a Windows computer, it will be a more money that I have to spend, right? So instead of that, I can able to download a virtual software. So in the virtual software, what happened there? I can able to install the Windows, and then we can able to open the MS Access there. So nowadays, the cloud service also provided the virtual machine type of services. So in the cloud, like Amazon and Azure, you can go there and then you can also create your own operating system, and then there you can choose your RAM, your storage based on that. That one is also one of the way to save the cost. Now comes to human computer interaction. What does it mean by human computer interaction? In a simple way, how we can able to interact with the computer, right? So if you think about some of the computer, they have a touch screen. So we can interact with the computer by using touch screen. Now there's a latest thing came up, which is a voice recognition, right? So we can talk and our computer can able to identify. There is also another way which is called gesture, I think, recognition type of things. The way you move your hand and then the computer can able to identify what type of shape you are showing to them, right? So it is mostly happen to the blind people. So blind people can turn off on their camera, and then they show different type of finger movement. From their computer can able to understand what type of language they're trying to say to the computer, similar like that. If you want to see, you can search in the YouTube about this type of interaction process type of things. So this is one of the way how the computer and human computer interaction is occurring like that. Beside that, we will also learn about the usability. Usability means how when we create any of the software or any of the website, how we can able to make it more user friendly to the user, right? This is, I think, this from the human computer interaction part we already cover a little bit in unit 2 as well. So it's like when we create any of the website, during that time we created a similar type of icon, right? So we have a one icon for the mail, and this one icon for the log, this one for the cloud, similar like that. So mostly all the website, they use a similar type of icon so that the user can able to identify at a one look that what that particular icon means. So this is one of the way, right? So when you will create any software, any website, it must be easier for the user, so user don't have to think. Hello Arnav. I think we already completed 10 minutes. So I will give you the recording. So
Yeah, sorry, I was a bit late.
yeah, no worries. Can you just wait for 2 or 3 minutes? Okay, after the Ajan complete, we will start. Just wait for 2 or 3
Okay.
minutes. Yeah. So human computer interaction is basically how we can able to interact with the computer. And when it comes to the website or maybe any type of software, we must have to make sure that it is usability friendly and it provide user satisfaction. So which means user don't have to think when they're using the software, right? So it means like if you created any of the website and user have to think what that particular icon represent, what type of functionality, then they will not have the interest to use your software. So when we will create any type of software or any type of website, we have to we have to think like carefully like you, so that the user won't have to think, right? So when they will just look or at a glance of your software, they can able to identify what your software provide. Then come to the cloud data storage. Cloud data storage, I mean, I think in unit 1 you already learned what does it mean by cloud data storage, but in this unit 3 we will learn about what type of security they provide and what type of encryption method and then access control and the backup process they follow. So we'll go through a little bit depth about this topic. And then comes to the data encryption. So I think we already learned about this in unit 1, which is asymmetric and symmetric encryption type, right? But here we will go through some of the diagram, how we can able to draw the symmetric and asymmetric type of security that they provide. And beside that, we also learn about certificate based encryption technique. That one is mostly provided for digital devices, not digital, so digital product. Like suppose if I create any art and upload it to the Facebook, so that particular art, how I can provide a license to that art that I created that particular pictures. That's similar like that. Then comes to IT system in organization. This is the next chapter. So here we will learn about different type of systems. So one system is transaction processing system. So this one is mostly for the transaction, like how bank are working, right? How their transaction, the data, how it is working, what type of technique they follow, what type of security they provide, similar like that. Then comes to the customer relationship management. It's a type of system. They mostly interact with the customer. So they help to improve the service and sales relationships effectively, right? So this is one of the example, like if you think about a large organization, they have a lot of employee who was working as in a call center, right? That is a part of a customer relationship management. So that call center, they uses a different type of software. So this is one of the software which is customer relationship software. How they manage this software and how this type of software is working, how they're taking the data, and then how they improve the service and sales. We will learn about this in this chapter. What does it mean by customer relationship management? Then comes to management information system. So management information system is like they will take a lot of data, and based on that they will give you some decision, right? They will provide you a different type of graph. Like if you have a supermarket and then you have a different type of product, so if you have management information system, this type of system can help you to give you what type of product will be more valuable for a certain month, right? And which product you have to buy, that one is a high in demand, similar like that. Then comes to the expert system. Expert system means they can able to give you a decision based on a human perspective. Like if you show any type of virus to that particular system, the system can able to give you an identification what type of medicine you have to take for that particular viruses. So ChatGPT is not considered as an expert system. So we will learn about what does it mean by expert system, how they work, and how they take the data to make a decision. Then comes to the system development. System development is actually a part where how a real software company, right, follow different type of methodology to complete a software. So first thing came, which is a project management. Project management is like the project manager. They uses a different type of tool. They have a Gantt chart, they have a CPA, a different type of tool they uses to track the progress of that particular project, right? It can be software, it can be different type of project. But when it comes to the unit 3, because this is a IT, so we'll mostly focus on software development perspective. Then in the world of a software related thing, they uses a methodology which is called waterfall method. Waterfall method is a type of waterfall, right? So which means the first stage is you have to gather the requirements, second stage is you have to analyze, and then you have to design, then you have to start the coding. So this is the step. So in waterfall method, you must have to complete one steps and then you can proceed to the next step, right? If you are not completing the first step, you can't able to proceed to the next step. This is the rules of the waterfall methodologies. So we will learn what will be the advantage and disadvantage we get if we follow the waterfall method to develop a certain software. And nowadays, most of the company, they don't follow waterfall methodology. They follow agile approach. It's because agile approach follow the iterative way, which means suppose in the requirement analysis, you take the requirement, then you move to the design phases. So in the design phase, they mostly draw different type of flow chart. They do some research about the type of latest UI software. They create the prototype. They create the wireframe mockup. I think you are already familiar with that. But suppose they have some issue, they can again go to the requirement phase and ask the client, is it clear or not, right? When it comes to the agile approach, they use a sprint, 2 weeks sprint. So after 2 weeks, they have a follow-up with the client to make sure everything is going through with the client perspective or not, right? But when it comes to the waterfall method, it is not like that. Waterfall method is like they will sit with the client at the first stage, which is the requirement analysis stage, and then after that they complete everything, then they will show their final product to the client. So that's why there is a lot of error can happen. Sometimes a misunderstand can happen with the client to the organization. That's why nowadays most of the company, they follow the agile approach. And then we'll also learn what would be the advantage and disadvantage of this approach as well. Now comes to the emerging technologies. So here we will learn about the machine learning. So in unit 1, we already learned what is the difference between structured and unstructured data. Here we will learn about what type of machine learning algorithm we can able to fit to that different type of data, right? When it comes to unstructured data, that one is mostly considered as a video, images, right? And when it comes to the structured data, that one is a table-based data. The database we have, the table that one contain, they have a primary and foreign key. That one is mostly considered as a structured data. So when it comes to the structured and unstructured data, what type of machine learning method we can able to use and how machine learning things work. Machine learning is like we have to provide different type of data to the algorithm, and then the algorithm can able to predict something or give you a valuable solution. How this process is working, we will learn about this from this chapter, the machine learning. And we will also follow the virtual and augmented reality. I think you are familiar with this one. So we will learn about what is the advantage and disadvantage, how it works like that. When it comes to Internet of Things, we did in unit 1, which is smart cities, right? This is a part of our Internet of Things. Now we will move to some auto drive car, similar like that, how that particular car is working, what type of sensor they uses, a smart camera, a little bit depth we'll go through. So how Internet of Things connect everyday object to the internet, similar like that. Now in this unit 3, we also have the diagram. So in unit 1, we have a network diagram similar like that. So here we have the first diagram, which is Gantt chart, right? So the Gantt chart is a tool that is mostly followed by the project manager. And in our question paper, we'll get a different type of scenario. And based on the scenario, we have to complete our Gantt chart. They will give the Gantt chart graph. Based on the scenario, we have to complete the Gantt chart. Then comes the smart target. A smart target is another type of tool. That one is also uses in a project manager. So what type of framework they use, which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So how they use that particular things, we will learn about that. here. Then comes to the information flow diagram. This one is a similar like data flow diagram, but the shape and the shape that we use, the type of entity that we use, entity process, and the data stores that we use in data flow, it is not like that. This one here we will use different type of shape. Mostly all the shape is given there. They don't have any specific shape. Mostly we have to provide there some of the information data that is passing from one system to another system, and we have to provide some of the arrow related things. Then comes the critical path analysis. Critical path analysis is another tool that is mostly uses to identify what will be the longest task, or the task that will take a longer time to complete. Suppose if you think about a to-do list, right? In a to-do list, we have a different type of features. Add, we have a edit, we have a update, right? Edit, and then I think delete. Then we can also add the reminder, similar type of things. So during the analysis of the design part, what the project manager do, they separate each type of features in the Gantt chart, okay? And then they identify what time it will take to complete certain features. Right, and they will provide a specific date from there. But when it comes to critical path analysis, they will create a different type of circle, and then they identify which features will take most time to complete. So based on that, they plan the timing for the project, like how many days it will take to complete that particular project. So there they uses the critical path analysis. So which means, suppose if they gave suppose the client gave you to create a to-do list software. So if you say like, okay, we can complete it within 2 months, and you can't able to complete it within 2 months, then there will be a bad thing will happen, right? Your reputation and something. So that's why the organization uses different type of chart to identify what would the specific time they have to give to the client. So during that time, they uses Gantt chart or critical path analysis to came up with the exact timing. Okay, so this is the end of Unit 3. So Unit 3 is a similar like Unit 1, but this one is a bit harder than Unit 1. So that's why it takes a little bit more time to understand this type of diagram. Now comes to the Unit 4, which is a database solution. I think you have ICT, right, in your O-level? Or no, Atif? Do you have ICT?
Yes.
What about Atif? Okay, so in ICT, the database, so whatever the thing we did in the database, here we will do the similar thing, but some advanced things will came up here. So here we will understand how we can able to provide the data validation, how we can able to create an automatic ID generator. Most of the time they gave this question, like you have to create an automatic ID generator for certain parts. Then there is we will learn about how we can able to add a combo box, lookup or list field. Then we will learn about the macro code here. We also have to create an interactive dashboard and diverse chart type, like we will learn about the pie chart, bar chart, similar type of chart, right? So they will give us the data, and based on the data, we will create a different type of chart. Beside that, in Unit 3, we also learn about that there is this one, relational database. There is a normalization process, right? So there they will give us a table, and from there we have to break that table 1NF, 2NF, and 3NF. So we will follow this particular thing in the Unit 4. So in Unit 4, they will give you a text file or maybe anything, any file, and then they will ask you to create a data structure based on that particular file. So from that table, we have to create a multiple table so that we can able to reduce the data duplication, and then we can able to create the relationship between the table. So in ICT, they gave us the table, but in Unit 4, they will not give us the table. They will give one table and one export file. So we have to import that particular file to a database, and then we have to create the table by ourselves. Then we have to create the query and everything. So when it comes to the unit 4 is not that much hard, but we need a lot of practice. So if we do a lot of practice, it will be familiar with us, like it will be similar like ICT. So if you know how to do it, maybe it will be easier for you. Okay, now the timeline for this course is we will try to complete the unit 3 by October. Then we will start the unit 4. We will try to complete the unit 4 by January. Then there will be mock test will be started from February. And then in April, we will, if you guys have any problem or anything, we will try to focus on that particular thing on April. Okay, so the classes will be online and it will be on Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m. If you have any problem with the timing, you can let me know. The class recording will be given to the classroom. And when we will complete each of the chapter, there will be worksheet will be given. And after we complete the worksheet, a test will be taken. Okay. And yeah, when we'll complete the syllabus, there will be 5 mock in unit 3 and unit 4. Yeah. So that's the end of this trial class. Do you have any question?
Miss, when will you start the class?
We will start the class from this week. So we will not follow this time. Maybe we will start the class from Wednesday.
Oh,
Or
I
this
was
week.
thinking because I will be out in my village, so I can attend from 15 June, I think.
Okay. Okay. So you just let me know so we can upload the recording and everything.
Okay, miss.
No worries. So recording will be uploaded. Yeah. Anything? Any question, Atif and Arno? Anything you want to ask?